Palm Sunday, the Sunday before Easter, people attending services, a celebration towards the end of Lent. However, in 1965, Palm Sunday had another meaning. Welcome to the Palm Sunday Tornado Outbreak Anniversary Review. Hey everybody, how are you doing? I'm Pat from Pat's Path Predictor, and happy Palm Sunday. And, by the way, welcome to another anniversary review, because today is the anniversary of the Palm Sunday Tornado Outbreak. So let's go ahead and dive right into this, because we have a lot of things to unfold right here. Alright, so on Palm Sunday, which was on April 10th, 1965, as well as moving through on the 12th, a severe weather event affected the Midwest and Southeastern United States. The tornado outbreak produced 55 confirmed tornadoes in one day in 16 hours, which is a lot of tornadoes for sure, but it produced a lot of EF4s, and we'll get more into that later. The worst part of the outbreak occurred in the afternoon hours of April 11th and overnight hours into April 12th. The second largest tornado outbreak in record at the time. This deadly series of tornadoes, which became better known as the Palm Sunday Tornado Outbreak, inflicted a swath of destruction from Cedar County, Iowa, to Cuyahoga County, where Cleveland is in Ohio, in a swath of 450 miles long, from Kent County, Michigan, to Montgomery County, Indiana. The main part of the outbreak lasted 16 hours and 35 minutes and is among the most intense outbreaks in terms of tornado strength ever recorded, including at least 4 double, or also known as twin tornadoes. In all, the outbreak killed 266 people, injuring over 3,600 others, and caused over $1.2 billion in damage. So, yeah, and that's not even in current day U.S. dollars. That's in 1965 U.S. dollars. If you adjust that to inflation, that's almost $10 billion. That's $9.99 billion today. So, yeah, that's pretty intense right there. And let's go ahead and unbox all of this right here. There was 1 EF0, 16 EF1s, 14 EF2s, 6 EF3s, but 18 EF4 tornadoes. The most common tornado out of this outbreak right here was EF4s, which were the strongest. And we're going to cover some of those, including the several twin tornadoes. In fact, you scroll back up here and take a look. This is the image of a double tornado, also known as twin tornadoes, destroying the Midway Park trailer park in Dunlap, Indiana. Which, if you're in 1965 and you're seeing this, you must think this is coming from out of the world. Hell, it is not very common. It's very rare to see twin tornadoes. The last time we saw twin tornadoes was in Nebraska in 2014, just for some context. And that was an EF4. Seeing this, like, and we're just zooming in a little bit, but seeing this, like, holy crap! And look at the damage that's associated right there. And yeah, and there's cars right there too, which, oh my god, that's a very amazing yet sad picture to look at, because it's causing the destruction of a lot of homes, a lot of houses. But yeah, and we'll talk about its aftermath afterward. The Lakewood Crystal Lake Burton's Bridge Island Lake in Illinois. This is an EF4 that hit those areas right there. Max rating EF4. Fatalities: 6 people were killed, 75 people were injured. The total damage was about 1.5 million in 1965 U.S. dollars. So this is one of the lesser damaging tornadoes, but it's still powerful nevertheless. This devastating tornado first detected at 4:27 p.m. Central Daylight Time, but officially touched down 7 minutes earlier. So yeah, this was first detected at 4:27. It literally touched down 7 minutes earlier. And generally, for context, in 1965, they would not issue a tornado warning until the tornado was actually spotted on the ground. So that's why it's like that. Yeah, so yeah, at the time the tornado first produced visible damage at Crystal Lake County Club. The two firs and a golf course were prostrated. Initially narrow, the tornado substantially widened to about 1,300 feet or 400 meters. That's close to a quarter-mile tornado right there, crossing Nash County Nash Street and McHenry Avenue, rather. In Crystal Lake, the tornado unroofed or severely damaged several houses. Alongside U.S. Route 14, the tornado claimed its first fatality, a man in a barn. Nearby gas stations and a strip mall were damaged. At the latter place, a roof shattered during a Piggly Wiggly and a Nicer's collapse, trapping 20 more or more people below. The tornado crossed cars, the tornado tossed cars rather, about in the parking lot as well. Shortly afterward, the tornado struck the Colby subdivision, destroying and severely damaging 155 homes. EF4 damage occurred, and several homes were completely swept off their foundations. 4 deaths occurred in this neighborhood, including 3 in one family whose house was obliterated. Their bodies were located 2 blocks distant, and a pickup truck was found to have landed in their basement. The tornado scattered debris from the Colby subdivision up to a half a mile away. So yeah, when it comes to a tornado like this, I'm not necessarily that surprised that it's lifting debris that far, especially considering that some of that debris could be like 2x4s and all that. So I'm not necessarily surprised, but it's still a crazy thing to look at. And let's take a look at this image right here, which was basically they were carried to their deaths 2 blocks from the foundation of their home right here. So yeah, this is this is a car that's in someone's basement, and this is easily EF4 damage right here, because for EF4 damage to take place, the entire house has to be basically just destroyed at that point. So yeah, that's why EF4s and EF5s are so dangerous, because an EF5 can literally just leave the slab and that's it. So yeah, that's basically it. After ravaging the Colby neighborhood, the tornado destroyed a number of warehouses and sheltered windows. A diesel plant, a wallpaper factory, and a manufacturer sustained damage ranging from light to heavy. The tornado then extensively damaged the Orchard Arc subdivision, crossed Illinois Route 31, and apparently weakened before impacting the farmland. A few farms and isolated trees were damaged. The tornado may have dissipated and reformed as a new tornado near the Fox River. The tornado also struck the community of Burton Bridge. The tornado, now 500 to 800 yards, or about 460 to 730 meters wide, which that's wider than it was originally, so just keep that in mind. Then re-strengthened and felled mature oak trees as it crested a precipitous hill before striking the Bayview Beach. The tornado badly damaged a number of homes and downed willow trees. Finally, the tornado intersected Illinois Route 176 and produced its final swath of significant damage in Island Lake. In Island Lake, the tornado tossed boats ashore, wrecked piers, and caused homes to collapse, resulting in 1 additional death. The tornado also dissipated several homes from their displaced several homes from their foundations. Rather, the tornado neared U.S. Route 12 and dissipated at 3:42 p.m. So it was on the ground for over an hour, 82 minutes to be exact. But they didn't first find this thing until 4:27, which means those 7 minutes there could be a lot of damage going on at that point. So yeah, the damage was estimated about 1.5 million. So yeah, now we're getting into more of the bad stuff right here. So this was in Midway, Indiana. There was an EF4 tornado that hit. This was the most famous and well-publicized of the Palm Spring tornadoes, often remembered as the first of 2 EF4 tornadoes to hit the Dunlap, Elkhart, Goshen area. It was formed near St. Joseph, Elkhart County border and tracked northeastward, striking Wakarasa. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, so I'm sorry. Where it caused severe damage and killed a child, which is very tragic right there. The tornado then intensified significantly as it moved towards northern Goshen and Midway's trailer court. As it neared the trailer park, Elkhart Truth reporter Paul Huffman, then reporting on severe weather, overheard a report of a tornado approaching his position on U.S. Route 33 about a mile south of Midway. As Huffman awaited the storm, he noticed the tornado approaching from the southwest, so he began taking a series of photographs, 6 in all. The photographs captured the evolution of the storm into twin funnels as it struck the trailer park, which each funnel graduating around the central point, yet only producing one damaged swath. The tornado struck the trailer park at 6:32 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Roughly 45 minutes later, another EF4 tornado passed just to the north of Midway's trailer court, splitting into yet another pair of funnels, so another twin tornado as it struck the Sunnyside neighborhood in Dunlap. The tornado obliterated roughly 80% of the trailer park with 10 deaths and caused EF4 damage to numerous other homes near the Middlebury, some of which were swept clean. 3 or more people died in Middlebury area before the tornado ended. While officially considered one tornado, recent studies indicated that the event consisted of 2 tornadoes and was not a multi-vortex event. Unofficial estimates of the death toll vary, with Grizzlus reporting 14 deaths instead of the 31 appearing on the official National Climatic Data Center database. An airplane wing from Goshen Airport was found 35 miles away in Centreville, Michigan. Right, so yeah, this tornado right here that hit these tornadoes at Dunlap. These were very powerful. We got photographs of twin tornadoes. The first known photographs of those, which is the photograph right here. So, yeah, this is a pretty crazy photograph that they got, and it's extremely rare to see twin tornadoes these days. It's very rare to see twin tornadoes anytime. But yeah, this has been a pretty crazy situation right here. The South Elkhart, Dunlap, Indiana tornado. So we're gonna read about this first because this is the second tornado that hit the area, and then we'll read about this one right here, which had an EF4 rating. Both of these had EF4 ratings, but we're gonna read about this one first, just because this is the second tornado mentioned in that last one. The Southern Elkhart, Dunlap, Indiana. This is the second and deadliest of 2 violent tornadoes that struck the Elkhart Goshen area, the highest single death toll in the outbreak. So, in this one, 36 people got killed, and there were over 300 people that were injured. So, yeah, you can tell that this was a really bad situation. The amount of damage we're not. I couldn't find it anywhere, but yeah, it had to be severe nevertheless. Yeah, I couldn't find anything, but yeah, it hit Dunlap about an hour after another EF4 tornado hit the Midway trailer park, a short distance from the southeast. A few people received warning due to the passage of the earlier storm, which disrupted communication and downed power lines, thereby affecting rescue efforts after the early tornado as well. Yeah. Similar situation happened in Tanner, Alabama in 1974 during that super outbreak, where about an hour after the first EF5 hit, another EF5 hit while rescue efforts were underway, which only made things a lot worse. So this is a similar situation and makes it even more tragic. The Dunlap tornado first produced tree damage at the beginning of the west of State Road 331. State Road 331. Prior to crossing to the St. Joseph Elkhart County line, the tornado claimed its first 2 fatalities. As the tornado near Dunlap, it intensified into an extremely violent tornado. It then devastated Sunnyside housing addition and then occupied Sunnyside Mentowine Church. The Sunnyside subdivision was completely destroyed, with many homes swept away. The Kingston Heights subdivision was similarly devastated. The death toll from these subdivisions was 28 people, and another 6 were killed in a home and truck stop at the junction of State Route 115 and U.S. Route 20. The Palm Sunday Tornado Memorial Park now exists near this location at the corner of County Road 45 and Cole Street in Dunlap, which is these coordinates right here. After striking Dunlap, the tornado apparently weakened somewhat, but still generated extensive damage eastward of Hunter Lake. Shortly before dissipating, the tornado tossed cars off of Indiana Turnpike near Scott. Like the Midway tornado, the Dunlap event was also witnessed as two funnels. A photographer standing amidst the wreckage of the Midway trailer court captured the Dunlap tornado as it passed just to the north. It may have been the strongest tornado on April 11th. In fact, Grizzlius and other sources assigned it as an EF5 rating in the tornado, although it was officially rated as an EF4. So that's basically the situation right here, and that's the situation. So I want to correct myself. The photograph we saw earlier with the twin tornadoes, that was from this one, and not the Midway tornado. So I wanted to clear that up real quickly. So yeah, that's the situation we have right here. That photograph though is like, man, you saw it earlier, and I still have that image in my head because of how memorable it is. Nevertheless, let's go ahead and go to this one. This is the Coldwater Lake, Southeastern Hilldale, Manitou Beach, Devil's Lake, Southern Tecumseh, Michigan. These are two tornadoes that happened. With telephone lines down, emergency services in Elkhart County, Indiana, could not warn Michigan residents that the tornadoes were headed their way. From the Detroit Metropolitan Airport, the radar operator at the U.S. Weather Bureau office observed that the thunderstorms over northern Indiana and western lower Michigan were moving east-northeastward at 70 miles per hour. Like, 70 miles per hour for a tornado, like, that's a car going off the interstate. That's a car going on the interstate, just for some context right there. That's how fast these things were rolling out. That's how fast these things kept going. But anyway, of the southernmost counties of Michigan, all but three, Bryan, Cass, and St. Joseph were hit. Starting just south of the Michigan state line, near Orland, the first deadliest of the strongest of the two massive tornadoes, each rated EF4, debarked trees and leveled homes on the shoreline of Lake Pleasant in Steuben County. Crossing into the Branch County, Michigan, the tornado damaged more homes in East Gilead. The tornado was up to a mile wide as it obliterated homes in Coldwater Lake. 18 deaths occurred there. Debris from the empty foundations were strewn over the surface of the lake and deposited a small cove. The lake destroyed 200 homes and caused one additional death as it traversed Branch County. After striking Coldwater Lake, the tornado widened even further, up to 2 miles across. So that's basically that's a 2 mile wide tornado. That's like, at this point, if you take the Greensburg tornado for example, at this point, like, it looks like this giant mass of debris that's just swirling around counterclockwise at that point. It's just swirling around, and it looks so massive that it is so massive, man. I've never seen a tornado like that, but yeah, I've seen video of it, especially with the Greensburg tornado as well as the El Reno tornado as well. So yeah, that was pretty crazy right there. Okay, so yeah. Across, destroying a century-old farmhouse and killing a family of 6 near Reading. The tornado then narrowed back to 1 mile as it struck Brew Lake, nearing the southern edge of Hillsdale. The tornado hurled a New York Central Railroad freight train into Brew Lake. Across Hillsdale County, the tornado killed 11 or more people and destroyed 177 homes. Leaving Lenawee County, the tornado traversed the Irish Hills and approached Manitou Beach, Devil's Lake. As it struck this area, the tornado destroyed much of Manitou Beach Baptist Church. 50 people were in attendance for Palm Sunday services. 26 failed to reach shelter in time and were stranded beneath the debris for up to 2 hours. This is why it is known as the Palm Sunday Outbreak, because people were literally going to church for Palm Sunday as these tornadoes were happening. That's why it's called the Palm Sunday Outbreak. So it doesn't take a genius to understand that, to really know that. Okay, where was it? All right. 8 fatalities occurred in the church. The local dance pavilion in Devil's Lake was demolished, having recently been rebuilt after a fire on Labor Day 1963. One of the tornadoes damaged parts of Ostend near the village of Tipton, which suffered a direct hit. 94% of the town's buildings were damaged or destroyed, which is similar to what happened in Greensburg, mind you. Across Lenawee County, the tornado destroyed 189 homes. About 30 minutes later, the Manitou Beach, Devil's Lake area in Lenawee County was hit by the second of the two tornadoes, causing numerous fatalities, including a family of 6 in eastern Lenawee County. Many homes were hit twice. One or both EF4 tornadoes struck the then village of Milan, south of Ann Arbor. The Wolverine Plastics building in the Wolverine Plastics building in Monroe County side of town, the top employer of the village, was destroyed with the roof being completely removed in the process. The Milan Junior High School was seriously damaged along the adjacent senior high school, disused since 1958, at Hurd and North Streets in Washington County on the side of Milan. Milan became a city in 1967, opening new middle school in 1969, so it took 4 years to rebuild it, mind you, which replaced the old junior high school, and eventually demolished the 1900 building that housed the former junior and senior high school. So, okay, let me correct myself real quick. So they built a new school, and they demolished the old buildings after demolished the whole those buildings after the tornado hit. So that's pretty crazy thing to look at. The first of the EF4 tornadoes produced a 151 mile per hour wind gust at Tecumseh, the highest wind measurement in a tornado until a measurement of 276 miles per hour near Red Rock, Oklahoma on April 26, 1991, and a higher measurement of 318 miles per hour, later corrected to 307 miles per hour in the F5 tornado of May 3rd, 1999, broke this record. Damage from the two tornadoes was difficult to separate and covered more than 2 to 4 miles across, including a much downburst and microburst destruction. Total damage estimates of the two tornadoes were 32 million, and more than 550 homes, a church, and 100 cottages were destroyed. So, yeah, that tells you how bad these tornadoes were. So, yeah, that was wow. That shows you the power of some of these tornadoes right here. That shows you the power of the Palm Sunday tornado outbreak. I always keep trying to say super outbreak, but was not a super outbreak, but this was a very powerful tornado outbreak. Now, I wanted to shift gears a little bit and talk to you about what happened after this. I mentioned earlier in this anniversary review that they didn't issue the tornado warning until the tornado warning was spotted, which means damage was likely occurring after this point, and this tornado was probably been on the ground for several minutes. After the Palm Sunday outbreak, they started issuing tornado warnings before a tornado touched the ground. For example, if a severe thunderstorm is showing indications of a bit of rotation, they're going to issue a tornado warning. It's because of the Palm Sunday outbreak. If this outbreak didn't happen, and odds are it would have probably been the 1974 super outbreak that actually changed it. Like if this outbreak didn't change all this, like this would have been going on for several years. They wouldn't be issuing tornado warnings until the tornado warning was spotted, and that would have ended up causing the deaths of more people. Like I said earlier, over 200 people got killed, and over 3,000 got injured in this devastating outbreak. And there were only 55 tornadoes, but 18 of those were EF4s. So I want everyone to keep that in mind as they're reflecting on this. But with that being said, that's going to wrap up with this anniversary review. I hope you enjoyed our discussion today. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you want more anniversary reviews. It helps me out, and it helps talk more about historic weather events like these. But until that time, guys, have a wonderful day. Happy Palm Sunday.